Farrier's gone, and how we shall miss her. How are we going to fill the void? We shall have to get Christine Hamilton to pee in her husband Neil's tea and get Normsky to cry because he's got to eat a bit too much spinach. And I suppose I'm going to have to go down the FA and give Sven-Goran Eriksson a world-class Norshorf. It stinks of opinions in here. Have you done an opinion? This is Big Brother's Big Mouth. So, Farrier's gone then, and we'll talk about that in this half. Oh! Well, OK, we'll have debate on that topic. But first of all, right, my favourite bit of the race row, right, was when Dennis was with Tracy, sort of justifying it, and he swears so much in that conversation that it stops being language. It just becomes sort of a river of foul language. I was like, I think with Dennis, that the phrase mother effer ain't particularly negative. I think it just means the same as people or chaps. There's one bit where he goes, them mother effers are upset. Like, they're upset. I was like, oh, them mother effers are doing their Duke of Edinburgh award scheme. It's going, like, mother effers ain't rude anymore. OK, get in touch with us the way Dennis gets in touch with his fellow housemates after a trying day. Only use a phone rather than aggressively burping during a tense reconciliatory dinner. We've just seen Farrier's best bits with Davina. Now let's have a look at her worst bits.
Good evening, my name is Faria. The reason I'm famous is in July 2004, I was involved with the England coach.
She is, after all, famous for only one thing.
Prior to this, I actually had a relationship with the CEO.
She's famous for doing something that wasn't very nice.
And was exposed in the news of the world.
She's not really earned the right to be in her, has she?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? She had sex with someone. Like, well done.
OK.
I had no intention of going to the papers. Why the hell is my private life the world's business?
What they do is just see, oh, you're a bitch, you fucking tell the story.
What's the big bloody deal?
But because I did it, oh my God, hang her, kill her, slice her.
It's a bore. You look like feel sorry for me, Susie.
She's boring.
Could we get a Hoover and a mop, please?
She's always right there, cooking, cleaning.
It feels a little bit like she just fancies having a cookery show of her own.
This is me, and I hope you will understand and know and remember me for being who I am in this show rather than what was written in the newspapers.
So, she's gone then. In this half, we're asking, she had it coming. I suppose we're stating that. What do you think of Farrier? Christine?
I'm delighted she's gone. She's just said it. The others have just said it. It's nothing to do with her bonking whoever she bonked. Who the hell cares who she's bonked?
Who cares?
She's gone because she's boring. Who's going to notice that she's gone?
She's boring. She's gone in there and she's gained everything she wanted to do by going to the house. She's annoyed people. She's just been there. She's just been in the background, and it proves the point. You've just said that you're glad that she's gone, so she's proved her point.
Hold on, but she went there to change people's perception of her, didn't she? Has your perception of her changed, Normsky? Do you like her more?
The perception was very narrow, wasn't it? Because there was no such thing as far away, whatever. Right, before
whatever her name is.
her moment.
Yeah.
Her moment is a negative moment because she got caught.
Yeah.
And she's a perfect example of a ex-desperate footballer's housewife.
Oh, hold on, love story.
What about the love story, though? I think that if we'd left...
You should appreciate this, having been alive.
I think that there's a possibility we might have seen Dennis's you-know-what.
And if you see Dennis and Faria get it together outside, it'll be for one reason only from her point of view, and that's more publicity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, Christine,
never mind, she's never said no to their publicity.
It's as far away as possible, as I'm concerned. That spinach has made her completely Popeye. You've got more faces than a clock shop.
She's obviously good in bed, that she's boring.
I think she's quite a nice lady, and she brought sort of balance to the house. What?
Maybe you're next.
What do you mean, on her list of conquests? Oh, I don't know about that, dear. No,
Chance to be a fine thing.
No, listen, don't just come here to be all camp and do puns. We've got all that covered, sweetheart. Right, so do you think she was surprised to go Normski?
No, I don't think she was surprised to go, because you could tell by the way she'd been acting over the last couple of days from being nominated for a start that she just lost the plot. She went into panic zone. She went into last common denominator, where's my trump card, pulled it out, and it just so happened to be the old racism chip on the shoulder. Didn't work for her. She was...
Out to the British people. I think audiences would have been, black, white, whatever colour audiences, would have been horrified by
Desperate housewife, man. Desperate.
It's nothing to do with the colour that she's out. It's because
we're doing racism in the second half. We're going to do it very thoroughly. Don't leave it all in the gym, Christina, for heaven's sake. Right, what does boy genius John Connell make of it all? What do you think of Farria's departure?
I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be Pete, but he was 3-1 on this morning, but it was Faria. I was very pleasantly surprised. She brought nothing to the house. Her best bits with Davina summed it up. She did nothing really, did she?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sort of a bit glad. Apparently, it might be the biggest landslide ever because, like, earlier on, another housemate that was nominated was well in the lead, but over the course of the episode, there was a big swing.
She's gone and done a Victor. Victor did it a couple of years ago on the wedding night with Shell. He completely messed things up for himself. He was just quite a strong favourite, and then he was evicted on the Friday night. She's gone and done that.
Good statistic, okay,
whatever you
fair
think about Pete, whatever you think about Dennis, and I've got strong views about both of them, they are much more interesting television than Faria. They are. Yeah. They're entertainers, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second.
And so was her interview.
She's done so was her interview.
Look, the girls have got her sass. The girls know what they're talking about.
We've got her agent on the blower now who might want to stick up for her.
Well, he'll be looking for another job.
Aaron, be quiet. He won't be looking for another job. Christine. Aaron.
I know Aaron. He's Jodie Marsh's agent too. 1 down, 2 down.
Aaron.
Oh, Christine.
Your clients are dropping like flies. You're going to have to look at your policy. So what are you saying? Has Faria done herself any favours in there?
Let's get something factually right here, please. I'm not Jodie Marsh's agent, if you don't mind.
Christine.
Christine.
Stop kissing Arun's
By the way, you
client,
look lovely tonight, Christine.
Be quiet. We're talking to Arun.
You look lovely tonight, Christine, by the way.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel as if I'm walking into bloody World War II over there. I mean, what's going on?
Why?
I mean, this girl, look at her. Look, she's come into this show. She was invited to take part. She took the opportunity. I just, she gave it her best shot, and I think she's done bloody well, really, at the end of the day. I mean, as she quite rightly says, she doesn't feel that she's a celebrity. She's gone in there. She's been very humble. I mean, what do you want her to do? Cartwheels and,
I'd like some cartwheels, yeah. Spice things up. I like gymnastics. Do you reckon
something other than her skin
colour would
be nice? An opinion on something other than her skin colour would actually be nice.
All right, we're talking about racism later. Shut up. Right, Arun, do you think that like now she's on the outside, she'll get a lot of offers and stuff like that? I mean, professional offers.
Well, listen, all I can say on behalf of the office, I mean, we are inundated with inquiries, we are inundated with offers, and we're in negotiations with lots of various different things. These shows are very good for people all round. I mean, look, you've got 10 celebrities, or 11, I should say. I mean, it's a great opportunity for exposure for everybody that's concerned.
Okay.
And, why not?
Arun, we've got to go now, darling. We're very busy. Thank you very much for the call. Good luck. Perhaps there'll be a sort of a spinach deal or something. She could be like a sort of new Popeye figure. Okay.
No, Arun's right. Why not? Okay, why not?
Why not? We're not condemning it. Hold on. I've got an email. Christine, please. I don't know how your old man keeps his hands off you. Right, we've got an email here from Darren Willis. He go, whenever a housemate gets evicted, they always say they're fine about it. They're all soft. If I was in there, I'd have neutered George and spayed Ruler to stupid two-faced moggies. That's Darren Willis, Manchester. OK, we're going to have a very... All right, you ready for something exclusive?
Yes.
All right, we're going to have a look now at the housemate's reaction to Faria's eviction. Let's look at it now with our eyes.
Are you getting all weepy?
I don't know.
Chill out, baby.
I know.
I'm still on the rag, you know. It's my rag.
But does it ever stop?
Yeah.
Needs a transfusion.
She's not through the bloody hanging on the wall.
No, it's too sad. Was it in my head?
Yeah, greenhouse mates hanging on the wall, and if one greenhouse mate should accidentally fall, there'll be 9 greenhouse mates hanging on the wall. 9 greenhouse mates hanging on the wall, and if one greenhouse mate should accidentally fall, there'll be 8 greenhouse mates hanging on the wall.
Bizarre singing and stuff. They don't seem all that bothered, do they? They seem.
Goes to show what kind of person Michael Bowman and George are. They've got absolutely no respect for absolutely anyone in that house. They stand there and sing, and the poor girl's just been left, probably crying down those stairs because everyone's booing her. and then they're singing a song, but then they can still probably comfort her when she was crying. George, go.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to have to wrap up the Faria debate now forevermore. We're not going to talk about it. It's time for our text poll. Today we're asking which is George's most erotic look. Text A for Dickie Davis. Text B for the Fonzie. Text C for Charlie Out of Casualty. Text D for look here, I'm not interested in texting my views about how erotic George looks in a costume. Text that to 83188. Text costs 25p, and there is a standard network rate. I mean, we have to charge that. That's just standard. No one's ripping anyone off. OK, you know that mouthpiece thing? You can call it night or day whenever you want to express an opinion, and then it will be played out, as these ones are, with eerie music. Listen to these bizarre views.
Brilliant, George. Oh, I'm getting so hot with that guy. Oh, that leather gear. I've taped it so I can keep it. Is he single? Because I am. And I'm about the same age as him. Just a couple of years younger. Okay. Thank you. Bye now.
I just wanted to leave a message for Russell to ask if his mum's never let him know about if he wears tight trousers, they'll catch thrush. Every pair of trousers that he has on are so tight. They're outrageous.
Gorgeous George, his crops are gorgeous. He's so sexy. If I had him in my bed, I wouldn't let him up for air. He's beautiful, don't let him out the house.
I was just wondering, the other night there was a boy sitting behind you with a red jumper. Was that Liam Gallagher on your show? And if so, I would have liked his autograph.
Well, if we'd had Liam Gallagher just sat here, we would have spoke to him, wouldn't we? Yes, Liam Gallagher sat there. Princess Diana's in. Omar Sharif. OK, when I grew up, as you know, in Queens, New York, I learnt my presenting skills on the streets, very rough there. I was very good pals with 50 Cent. We was in Cubs together, I was his sixer, he was my seconder. Grew up pretty quick in New York City, if you don't want someone to pop a cork in your bottom. I said to him, one day, Fiddy, we'll work together again. That day is now day.
Hey, what's up? This is 50 Cent, and you're watching Celebrity Big Brother's Big Mouth.
Big Mouth, still with us, Christine Hamilton and Normsky. Get in touch with us the way Pete Burns' manager gets in touch with me, only use a phone rather than giving me your card and say, why don't you come to a party? Join the children of the revolution, and making me feel sexually intimidated. Don't you sometimes think that the housemates need some baby Jesus in their lives? We do. So we've got local Rev Karen Sayers to stick her oar in. Here, what if they were her parishioners, though? She'd have to do Chantel and Preston's nuptials and stop Tracy drinking too much communion wine, and George would never be out of the confession box apologising to God for pretending to be a cat and washing his undercarriage.
First, let's talk about Pete. He seems very aware of what his own needs and his own rights are, but rather less aware of what the needs and rights of the other people in the house might be. In other words, he's not loving his neighbour like himself.
I'm not going to do it. If this isn't acceptable, I won't take part in the task. I can get by on £1 a day.
I think that Dennis is a really good Samaritan when he first of all gives up his wish that Jimmy Savile gave him for the pampering products, and then when he goes back to get them changed for cigarettes and coffee because he thinks that's really what people want and need.
You guys should kiss my ass.
Jesus said the meek will inherit the earth. Well, actually, that seems to be happening in the Big Brother house. If you think about people like Preston and Maggot and Tracy, people who are actually keeping quite quiet and just sort of going out of their way to help people, really, they're the ones that aren't getting nominated.
Look at the chair.
Big Brother's been very kind and benevolent recently, I think. We've seen it especially through Jimmy Savile, who's been sort of carrying out the good work of Big Brother for him. And just like a good God, he's been listening to people's prayers and he's been meeting their needs.
Jim will fix it, badges.
Thank you. So, Russell, see you soon. God bless. Bye.
Oh, bless her. Jimmy Savile ain't doing God's work. It's not a proper like, water into wine, etc. I don't know. Right, so as you know, little Paul Scholes has been very ill. Apparently his situation has got yet more worse. Apparently there were some dirty syringes in his cornflakes this morning. We're all very worried about him. So we've had to get John Connell here to be my sidekick for today. You remember boy genius John Connell, of course. So what would you like to talk about in this half, John Connell?
I'd like to get under the skin of it.
You'd like to get under the skin of what's been going on in the house.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look at that. Don't get too cocky, you might end up in an hospital and all.
Are you kidding me? Do you think they'll let a black or an Asian girl ever, or guy, win this thing? Are you out of your tree
I'm here
to
for
add colour?
Colour.
Well-
Not the race thing, we just add colour.
No, I don't think it's a race thing.
Add colour, that's it.
According to Faria and Dennis, if you're a minority, end quote, you don't stand a chance of even winning on this show.
It's turned into a race thing now, you see.
Far from my perception of there being any racism against Dennis, in fact, people have made huge allowances for his aggressive, rude, and vulgar behaviour
We all have.
that they would never have from a white man. Never.
When you want to start some shit, go out there and finish it. I mean, people hate my ass too. I don't give a fuck.
Dennis, I wasn't trying to start anything.
Well, why don't you go out there and tell them, motherfucker? Go out there and tell them. Go out there and tell them.
I did. I did.
I assumed you were talking about your colour.
Did you hear me say I said I am talking about my skin color. I said the color, like adding, charisma, spice to it. You hear me say that, right?
No, I didn't hear you say that.
He did say colour in a charisma spice way, and she went, oh, and she responded. She did understand at the time. So this part we're asking, getting under the skin of it. Normski, is there a racial divide in the house?
There wasn't, but she's gone now.
Hey, what about that?
I mean, the problem right there is that it's all like, it's a small environment, it's a small world, there's nothing going on outside of the walls that they're all surrounded by. And after this amount of time, it starts getting difficult to look for subject matter. And I'm sorry, we go back to the old evicted one of tonight. See you later, far, far away. And she was the one who started that all off, because she said things and kind of got the whole vibe rolling.
She was actually never talking about the situation in the house. She was talking about the situation outside of the house as she sees it from her perception.
Yeah,
bearing in mind that she's talking about these people as the bloody English.
Yeah,
okay. So it is very dubious. It is very dubious, but it is her perception. What we've got to remember also is that she's got a problem with her own identity.
Yeah,
She's speaking to. It is exactly. It's her problem. She speaks to Dennis in a sort of American accent. When she's speaking to the young people, she starts swearing and trying to tell stories in the way that they do. You know, when she's speaking to George about being a Muslim, it's because she doesn't know what she's actually talking about. Okay,
well,
she has no professional
so this
identity.
is a Faria issue, not a racial issue. Is that what you're saying? Let's let Christine go, then you. Shut up now. Christine, you have a go.
As I understand it, what you're saying is that she's trying to be everybody's friend instead of just being herself.
Which is exactly what she did.
She's trying to
when she came out,
ingratiate
when she was
herself with everybody.
speaking to Davina. 1 minute she fancied him, the next minute that she didn't. She's playing every single card she can.
All right, so that's nothing to do with racism, is it? Hold on.
No, she has backtracked, and I'm upset that she hadn't stuck to her point, because she did have a valid point. What black or Asian person has ever won a reality show in this country?
Oh, that fellow what won Apprentice, that dude, Tim.
Yeah, one person.
Yes, but that doesn't.
Hold on, go on.
That doesn't prove that they
it's a valid comment that it's about race or minorities. I just don't think that had anything to do with it, and I don't see why she feels that she has a right to speak for the British public.
No. Give her a go.
First of all, I was going to say Jodie was orange, and no one had a problem with that.
out. She got booted out.
There were racism against orange people.
I was going to get to my point. What's her name? Nadia was Portuguese. I think it's more about minorities.
Yeah.
She was Portuguese and just transgender, and she won it. And it was more about we're talking about personalities here.
We're not racist.
About personalities, not creed, not
About
colour.
personality, Normski.
It's not colour.
I was just about to say, moving on swiftly from the fact that Miss F is gone, so stop talking about her. It leaves us with a house.
Gloating.
It leaves us with a house.
Used to. Will you just get it on already?
We are.
Christine and Normski.
It leaves us with a house full of people who have obviously got that's been brought up right, and at the end of the day, they have had to look at themselves. And the thing about racism, which everyone, no matter what colour or where you're coming from, the one thing about that is it offends everybody because somebody's been attacked and somebody's attacking. And so what's happened now, and I think the great thing about that coming up this early in the game is that everyone in the house who forgot who they were whilst they've been in the house has got to stop for a second and have a good look at themselves.
Yeah.
And that's
And
all of us.
George, think very carefully about what he said.
Forget George!
No, don't forget George. Don't forget George because he's an MP. Okay.
Oh
He's
my gosh!
No, listen. He's in a position of responsibility,
And so what did
and
he
he
do?
is compared. Just now, he is compared.
Oh, at the end of it.
Hold up! Shut up, everyone! Stop it! Black people, white people, shut up! Hold on, we've got Science on the blower. Science, you there, mate?
Easy,
Science! Alright, Science, how's it going?
I'm all good though, still.
What, mate?
I'm all right.
Oh, it's lovely to hear your voice, mate.
Easy.
Shut up, I'm talking to Science. Science, so, what about racial tension in the house in this show and when you were there? Does it exist? What are you saying?
Racial tension, I wouldn't actually call it a racial tension thing as if, like, you're in a house and people are, like, are racist to each other and stuff like that. But at the same time, obviously, if people are brought up in a certain way, you know what I mean, and they show, like racial inequality to each other, yeah, it's not actually the public's fault for that, you know what I mean? It's not the public's fault. It's the person's fault, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is 2006, though. So we shouldn't be even having these problems.
Right, so it's about individuals rather than races. Science,
Yeah.
thank you very much, mate. I wish we could talk to you longer because I think you're fantastic. Ta-ta, mate. See you later. Right, okay, fair enough.
That takes you back, doesn't it, hearing
Oh,
Science?
it's lovely to hear Science for a little bit, ain't it?
Just right on the end, that was.
Hold on, we got an email here.
That's all. It's
yes,
quite
I've
funny
seen.
that you should talk about the race thing, yeah, and it all be all really serious. But then when accidentally Miss Rulanenska, Miss Actress of the back in the days business, jumps out and goes, "Oh, you Arab," accidentally, and then goes, "Oh my God," because it's PC time. So
I think that is a bit racist to go
I
like
think
you
it's bloody
dirty
racist, bruv. But no one said nothing to her about it, did they?
Well, I mean, there was a bit of an embarrassing atmosphere. Hey, we've got to wrap it up. Maybe it would be good if a black person or a minority person won Big Brother so we could feel, well, we're one out. Let's do that then. Well, all right, time for the poll result. Shut up, poll result. Okay, so apparently 37% of you reckon that texting my views about how erotic George looks in a costume is a silly thing to do, and yet you did it brilliantly ironic. All that we can do now is thank Christine for coming. Thank you, Normski. Thanks to our audience for coming. Thank you very much for watching. Watch tonight at midnight for that weird thing that's going to happen with Davina. That sounded exciting, didn't it? And watch us every night except Sunday because we like you being here. Watch Stone in the Morning. Hurry,